So if you can't tell, today's episode is all about video games. We're kicking off Video Week. And there's no better way to do that than to kick it off with a nice, fresh song that makes everybody think of nostalgia and better times. And that's the NHP theme song.
The Natural Habitat Podcast. Natural Habitat Podcast. The Natural Habitat Podcast.
Yo!
Hey, yeah, sons of bitches, what's up? This is Ricky the Man Slackjaw Duggins, and you're here at the all-you-can-eat Rock Talk Buffet Show.
You see the size of that chicken?
Holy crap, no, guys. We're here, we're live, and it's going down in an amazing way. What the fuck is this? Hey, what the fuck are you doing? Hey, who is this? Get this guy out of my studio. Dude, get the fuck out of my chair. Get the fuck out of here, man. What the fuck?
Hey, this
Jerry,
ain't the Redneck Show.
Jerry, you need to come and get this fool out of here. Get both of them out of here. How did you let this happen?
I don't know.
What the
I don't know
fuck?
what he was thinking.
Dude, there's like some sort of crazy redneck here in a silk shirt. I don't know what the hell that was.
It's all fucking bedazzled. Bejazzled.
We need to, all right, we're putting our own lock on the door from now on.
Yeah.
When we leave, we're
We need
padlocking
a
this shit.
fucking, one of those eye ones, or like a fucking, we need a breath one, where it just knows us by our breath.
I didn't even know that was possible.
It is now. We just created it.
Fuck yeah, that's how shit gets made, sci-fi style.
Hey, let me just say something. All bullshit aside, I wasn't feeling too good today or yesterday. I've been working on this little side project that's gonna remain a secret until further notice.
Oh,
and
shit.
I kind of got like a lightweight heat exhaustion yesterday, and I was like kind of feeling fucked up. I was like throwing up and shit. Came home and I didn't really sleep much last night. And then today I wake up and I know I got a podcast and shit, and I'm fucking still not feeling very good at all. And I start smoking dab and I feel 100% better.
Man, that's dope. See,
Yeah, like no joke. I feel like no nausea anymore, no headache, no anything. I feel 100% different.
Nice. And I was gonna say, we've been hanging out and talking for like an hour already, and I wouldn't have guessed that you didn't feel good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's crazy, man. And I just want to like attribute that to the concentrate, and just like the shit is real. The benefits that you get from the shit is not just made up. It's like all jokes aside, you know, we do talk about a lot of things that marijuana does, and there's really not a lot of studies to actually back it up. But I'm telling you what I feel in my body. I'm telling you right now, like I don't feel high. I feel like medicated. I feel like I'm fucking healing myself. You know, it's not, I'm not like, I don't know how else to explain it to you. It's like it's really a miracle drug. It is. I swear to God.
Like you took some cough and cold medicine that is doing its job very, very well.
Honestly, yeah, it feels exactly the same.
And especially if you have something that has a high CBD, then that's really good for your stomach, indigestion, all that shit.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm still getting high or whatever, but I'm reaping the medicinal benefits from it. Yeah. It's a testament to it. Honestly, like I can fucking positively tell you that, you know, the shit works, and it's crazy, and now I understand, you know, like why people use it for pain, why people use it to get off of their other meds that they're on, you know, and it's a real thing, and for anybody to not look at it as that is retarded, you know, and it's funny that they just reneged on the new classification for it. And it's going to remain a Schedule 1 drug. And I think that it's bullshit. And I think that this just goes to show you that your government doesn't care about you. You know, they don't give a fuck about you. They want to peddle fucking pharmaceuticals that are killing more people than fucking old age and alcohol. You know, it's ridiculous. And for them to not have your best interests in mind is something that you should think about, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not just weed either. You know, it's every single thing in life. Everything that we're dealing with today is a product of a government that doesn't care about us. This fucked up system that we're living in, and like how we have to choose between the lesser of two evils right now with the presidency and all the hatred and racism and systemic bullshit that's happening right now every day. It's all coming from one place.
Yeah, and how
and we allowed it.
And how everybody's being watched and everything's all being, you know, all the data's being kept. That's like a conspiracy theorist's worst nightmare.
Yeah,
is true right now. It's proven to be true and it's happening. And yeah, man, it's crazy. We're
gonna get off and go back into the video game world, but I just had to get that out there and let you know that, you know, this shit really is a miracle medicine drug. It's not a fucking fluke.
Yeah, and for the DEA to say that it has no medical value is bullshit. And,
yeah, 100%.
And what it all is it's because the war on drugs, you know, more than half of it is marijuana. And, you know, marijuana busts, those are the easiest people to bust because they're high, they have kids, they're fucking watching cartoons. They're not, you know, gang members with AK-47s. Now some of them are because they need to be, but, you know, it's a real easy target to get someone that's growing weed illegally. So if they keep it, you know, gray area, illegal here, illegal there, then there's more people they could bust. And just the ratio in 2015 of, you know, of actual flower, like marijuana and plants that were turned in by the DEA versus money that was turned in by the DEA is like drastically different. To where,
yeah, of course.
Yeah, they're fucking taking all this money, buying boats and fucking sending their kids to college
or whatever. Yeah, and they use a different name for it. They call it asset forfeiture or whatever. Yeah. And you know,
but they turned in some money. They turned in like something like $70,000, and I know people that have half of that in their house right now. that only deal in weed, you know what I mean? So it's like you're trying to tell me that that's all they got in a whole year.
Yeah, there's no way.
And all that money is going to stop if they can't do that. So they know what they're doing, and it's fucked up. Yeah.
No more.
Let's get into this. This is the Natural Habitat Podcast. My name is Mikey Booyah.
My name is the Antichrist.
And today, like you were saying before, is a great day. You're feeling great now that you took these dabs. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling rather positive today. Everybody out there that's joining us, you know, you have some sort of mobile device or computer or tablet with internet connection. So you're doing pretty good. You're doing better than some people. You know, there's people out there that don't have any connection to podcasts or information. So I just want to have a little moment of silence for the people out there that don't have access to all of this free information. You know what I mean? We're the lucky few. So just everybody bow your heads, a little moment of silence. All right. Cool. So today we're kicking off video games week.
Games week?
Yeah, videos game week. And you know, we were talking about it and just how crazy. We always talk about how crazy everything's changing, how things are rapidly growing since technology has been made. And this is one big, you know, piece of that technology is video games. And we moved from, you know, in a very short time, we moved from Pong, which was two white lines with a white ball bouncing around in between, to submersive virtual reality. So where they make virtual reality games that actually open up your adrenaline glands when shit happens. And that doesn't happen when you're playing.
Yeah, because it's like full immersion.
Yeah, like you can play Xbox 360 and be in the most insane thing, but your actual adrenaline gland in your brain won't open. But if you're in this submersed, you know, reality, then your body thinks it's real. So we've gone really fucking far in, you know, 50 years.
Yeah, and we're getting very close to the singularity.
Mm-hmm. And it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. What are you going to plug into?
What am I going to plug into?
Yeah, like say you get to just go full retard and connect and like have a fucking feed tube and everything, evacuation tube, so you could just plug the fuck in and just tune out. What would you plug into?
Shit. That's a tough one, man.
I know, right? Because like there's so many options. There's like the option is like your own mind, like whatever fucking.
And there's an infinite amount of options, but if I choose one, is that like my infinite? That's where I go.
Well, that's where you go. Yeah, you get to plug in. So you don't get to like. So like every time you plug in, it would probably be a different experience. You had to program it before you go in. You know. Yeah. Because otherwise, how else would you get there? You can't control something while you're immersed in it. So it's like it has to have some type of parameters, right? Just like everything.
All right, I got it. So I would be on a huge ass like spaceship. Like a spaceship that is like the size of Texas. It'll be flown through space, and it has all different types of terrains and landforms. There's like a desert on it.
Star Trek.
Yeah, and there's like fucking, there's like big Alps and mountains and shit that like we could ski on. There's a beach and all this shit. So all these different things, and it'll be filled with a mixture of like my friends and people that I like having around me, and like my idols and influences in life, like a bunch of people that like I look up to and shit, and like actors and fucking musicians and whatnot. And then I'd have a bunch of my enemies there as well, so that me and my friends and all my favorite actors and musicians can all just pick on all my enemies all the time. And then I'd probably fill the rest up with just harlots, like just promiscuous women.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that.
Yeah. What about you?
I don't know, man. I think I would probably I would never plug in impermanence. Yeah. So I think like if I did, it would be, I would probably just like plug into movies or like, things like that. Like I'd plug into a fucking Big Trouble in Little China episode, or I'd plug into a fucking, something that has some type of like nostalgic thing for me. That way I could actually like feel it and live it instead of, having to live it through a third party,
Yeah, that's dope. And I think that's where it's going, because there's with all these reality things and everything starting to look real, and once they cross the uncanny valley and it becomes this actual thing, then they'll start making movies. The first one is Hardcore Henry. That's the first person movie to where if they film it with a 360-degree camera, then you can look through the eyes of the character and also look wherever you want. So you could turn your head all the way around and look behind you. So you see the movie however you want to see the movie, and then someone else will see it in a totally different experience because they're paying attention to different things.
So that just gave me a good idea, like a 360 canvas screen for a theater. If you film stuff with 360 cameras, then you could put the fucking screen all the way around you and everybody sits in the middle.
Damn, that's dope.
And then you like have swivel seats or whatever, so you could like be immersed in whatever part you want to look at. You know what I mean? That would be legit as fuck.
Right?
And then you wouldn't even need the VR. You'd just be there already.
That'd be fresh. But it'd be hard to make it to where people don't miss a lot of shit. You know what I mean? Because I'm high and like half retarded, so I'd be looking around and
right. But that's the thing, though. That's always going to be the same, no matter how you watch it. No matter how you watch a regular movie, no matter how you watch one that you're immersed in, that's always going to be the same. You're in control of what you see. Nobody else will ever see what you see. And so, like, every time you watch something or every time you become immersed in it or whatever, you're going to see a different part every time because you didn't notice that because you're focusing on a different part now. Or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, you never watch a movie the same way twice, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right. So, it's going to happen no matter what.
Yeah.
Well, the shit's getting crazy, man. And it's only, there's really no guessing on where it's going to go. But
yeah, because it'd probably be all of it. It'd probably be a little bit of everything,
Yeah, but what we are going to do after this break is guess about where it's going to go.
He's back. He's here. He's Mario. He's the new Mucho Mario in Super Mario All-Stars. So much Mario, it's a Mario smorgasbord. It's all the wigged-out Mario adventures you've ever played and then some. This is juiced up 16-bit only on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, so it's awesome Mario. In-your-face Mario. It's Raccoon Mario. Mario throwing fireballs. Mario hurling turnips. 4 games, including the new Lost Levels. Mario like you've never seen it. What's 2 plus 2? Mario, capital of Ohio, Mario. You're going to live, breathe, eat, sleep Mario. 4 Mario games, including the never-before-seen Lost Levels. Super Mario All-Stars. Now you're playing with superpowers.
All right, welcome back. So, I don't know if you guys out here have heard about this game. Brand new game that came out. and it's called No Man's Sky. And the deal with this game is that it's a open universe as opposed to an open world game, and they make it to where, you know, you start with a ship stranded on some island. You get enough shit to get your ship running, and you go and explore. There's 18 billion unique explorable planets. It kind of like randomly generates stuff as you get places. It'll generate solar systems, planets, animals, all this music and shit. And instead of having it all stored somewhere in the cloud or on the disk or something, it's just, you know, an algorithm and some sort of math function. So the game's making itself as it goes. And it's a really trippy concept.
So it's hard to wrap your mind around like what they're trying to do unless you understand the formats that they're using.
Yeah.
And what they're doing is they're like, you're mining things, right? Like the game, the purpose of the game is to collect. Like you're collecting experiences throughout the game. You're collecting species, animals, fucking plants, organisms, whatever, galaxies, planets, asteroids, fucking whatever, you know, whatever their set parameters are. And so you're collecting all these things throughout the game. And then it also has it has a mission involved also. So there's like a purpose to the game to like try to beat it as well.
Yeah, something you have to do. And it's not. But so it's kind of like a mix of just kind of free flowing. Like I heard that there's no cutscenes or anything like that, but there is a final objective that you have to do. And you know, it's a crazy thing. It's crazy enough to where the developers that made the game can't even check if the game is working properly. So they sent virtual probes out into space in the game to explore for like flaws and problems with like the coding and shit.
Imagine that, you know?
Yeah, that's fucking heavy. That's heavy as fuck.
It's a crazy, huge scale. And something that hasn't been done before. And it's just the tipping point, you know? It's just the beginning of like what to expect for the next generation of these type of games. Now, my only worry is that it's just a fucking PC game, you know? It's not a...
Yeah, it's PC and PS4, right?
Yeah. And so, like, it has to... Their parameters are not the same as, like, a fluid console game would be, you know?
Yeah.
They have more, like... I don't know. They just play different.
Yeah, and it seems like that's... Like, 10 years ago, it was teams. Like, you were on Team Xbox or Team PlayStation. And now, just recently, since they made it all like the cross-compatibility and shit, that's the big thing, to where if you have a new game that comes out, you want everybody to be able to play it.
Yeah.
And it's weird, like, the evolution of it, you know what I mean? How, when it first started, it was just a couple companies, everybody got into the game, and then it was like Nintendo and Sega, and there was like Nintendo kids and Sega kids.
Yeah.
And there wasn't really a lot of crossover until now. So it's
once it was Nintendo and Sega, and then fucking PlayStation.
Yeah.
And then Xbox. And once those two came out, then they kind of like opened up the market for everything else. And really it wasn't like, that's when it became all connected, you know? Like, it really just opened up the market for all the game designers and like those companies, because they're the ones who made the shit for everybody. So it really like connected the dots. And now we're on this fucking cross-platform, like you said, to where like everything kind of has to like relate. You know, everything has to be like transferable. You should be able to like walk from your Xbox over to your laptop and continue to play. Yeah. While you got to go out the door, or over to your tablet or whatever. And it has to be a smooth transition from one format to the next, and it has to play the same, or there's too much lost, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's hard to get to know. It's hard to be a console player and a PC gamer, because when you're a PC gamer, you're using commands and directional pads and a mouse. You know, you're using a lot of different functions. That doesn't translate well to an Xbox controller.
Yeah, you lose a lot of your control because there's all these different things that you can do, all these shortcut keys. You could change your mouse's sensitivity, and you can't change the sensitivity of your joystick on Xbox.
Yeah, you can. You can now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
I guess you're right. You can in some games. Or in the new one, the Xbox One.
And on the new controller as well.
Dope.
Yeah, you have a lot of options. Like, you could change the height of your sticks. You can change, like, your trigger, make it have, like, a fucking hair trigger. You could, like, there's a lot of shit. Yeah.
That's dope. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, and that's another thing, too, is, like, people like, I'm a console player, so I don't translate to a computer whatsoever. Like, I'd be fucking lost. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
And vice versa. You know, saying people who say that they started on PC always say that that's better than consoles, even when they make the switch.
Yeah. That's just how it is. I mean, I think it's just more, I think it's the more control, and plus PCs had better graphics before, you know, your standard game consoles did. The game consoles were still in like standard definition back when you could get like 120 frames per second playing Quake and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of were like ahead of the curve when it came to like processing, and they started making computers that were just for gaming and had all these special processors and video cards and extra fans and all this shit. So, yeah, I think it definitely is better. I really wouldn't know. I did play computer games, but I never had like a pimp computer. I remember playing like Doom, the old school Doom, and then the new Doom when they revamped it, and it was all dark and shit and hella creepy, and you could either shoot your gun, like aim your gun, or use your flashlight, and you couldn't do both. So you were just shooting into the darkness, and then you'd have to pull out your flashlight and see what was going on, and then shoot into the darkness again.
Yeah.
And it was just a creepy feel when you have the headphones on. That was another thing, is that with PCs, you could do headphones, which is way more submersive in the game, way before you could do it on any consoles. Like no PlayStations or PlayStation 1s or the original Xbox, none of those had headphones. So
Yeah, well, the consoles have more than closed the gap, though.
yeah, they have.
You know, like Xbox One is leaps and bounds ahead of PC, I believe, because
Yeah, so I think that all the arguments are gone. They're all...
yeah, you know, like it's definitely a new game. But that's what I mean about like transferring from one to the next. You know, now it's like a pretty level playing field. I feel like PlayStation's engines are not as fast or like as smooth as Xbox, and I feel like Xbox has better visual shit than the computer. And I feel like, you know, it's kind of like, but it's connected. Microsoft is very smart, and they've created all their platforms to basically run the same.
Yeah.
So it's getting to the point now where, you know, it's right there. We're on the fucking verge. And now you're adding a VR headset, and you're transferring that to each setting as well. You know what I'm saying? Like wherever you're going. So whether it's on the console that you're using it or fucking whatever, you know?
Yeah. And especially with the headsets and the VR, with Oculus Rift and HTC Vive coming out now, and there's being like a lot of money poured into that shit by all kinds of corporations and all kinds of gaming companies. So
yeah, it's coming already for Xbox too. There's a new the Xbox S or whatever, and it's gonna be the same. We just got an update for, you know what Cortana is?
That's like the assistant chick or whatever.
Yeah, it's basically Siri.
Yeah, for PlayStation.
For Microsoft.
Oh yeah.
So Xbox has it now, and you can talk to it through your headset now. You don't even need to connect.
Dope.
So yeah, you just say the commands to Cortana, and she fucking runs your shit for you.
See, that's fresh.
Yeah, that's next level shit. If you have a fucking wireless headset, that's all you need. You don't even need a controller, really. You just want to watch TV.
Yeah.
Pop on your wireless headset. Hey, Cortana, Turn the shit on, bitch.
Change it to bitch, so you can be like, hey, bitch.
Yeah.
And then she'll listen.
You could. I don't think you can do that, but
You can't change the command name? Why not?
because it's a fucking trademark thing that you got going on.
Yeah, I guess you can't do it with Siri.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
But you can ask it random questions like Siri, and it will give you fucked up answers and shit.
Nice. That's what it's all about, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like they're putting the human in it, you know. I mean, like, of course we're gonna do that.
Mm-hmm. So you found this review on that game No Man's Sky
Yeah.
from this guy on YouTube.
Yeah, he's just got his own channel. I'm sure he does this all the time. I wasn't really familiar with him, but I found him, and I liked his where he was going with it, and it was very like unbiased opinion, and he just kind of like lays out the facts about the game.
So we're gonna listen to some of this and smoke a little bit and hear his unbiased review.
Tonight, I want to talk to you a little bit about No Man's Sky. I want to talk to you about the game, my first impressions of it, but I also really want to talk a little bit about some of the problems the game has had, specifically centering on the hype. So No Man's Sky drops today, as of the time this video is being released. The PC version will drop in 3 days. The reason for the PC release is supposedly to make sure that the PC version is up to snuff so that we don't get a bad version of it. Some people have cynically said it might be to push sales of the PlayStation version, which might be true, and if it is true, I gotta tell you, Sean Murray, you got me, because I bought it on PlayStation tonight so that I could make a review of it here on the channel and give some first impressions, even though I primarily plan to play it on PC. Supposedly, it could take you anywhere between 20 to 40 hours to, quote, beat the game, achieve the final goal, which I won't mention here because I don't want to spoil much until I get to the spoilers section of the video. But that said, it would be very difficult for anybody who even did this for a living and dedicated themselves to get that final impression of the game well enough to review it. Now, that's not to say that the first impressions aren't very good, because it looks like every streamer I know that's played it, everybody on my Twitter feed, the people over at NeoGaf, the people over at Reddit, pretty much everybody who's played this game for at least a couple of hours, including myself, are fairly blown away with it, and I'll talk about why, but I think that it just shows that the quality of the game must be pretty damn good.
Must it be?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that's what my reaction to it was. That's what my reaction was to it. When I first heard about it, I was fucking
Yeah. Me too, right? Like it's something new.
Yeah, regardless of gameplay and how fucking fun or boring it is, or how similar the planets are, it's something brand new, something that's crazy new, a new beginning to like a new genre.
Yeah, and that's important.
Yeah.
You know, and those don't come along all the time. Most games, most everything is like one off something else. You know, something that's already been done. Whatever it is. You know, so I feel like this is important because of what it's trying to do, and somebody will capitalize on it and perfect it eventually. So like, this shit is great.
Yeah, definitely. So you want to play a little bit more of this guy's thing?
Yeah, no. Let's talk about something else.
Yeah, no. Okay, I got something.
Yeah, check this out. We were talking about reviews. And we were talking about how Rotten Tomatoes is bullshit.
Yeah.
And how they don't even have the fucking credentials to be reviewing shit. They shouldn't be. 70 reviewers to a population of hundreds of millions that are going to watch, or whatever.
To one of the most known movie review sites ever.
Yeah, it's not qualified, and then when you dig deep down the rabbit hole, you find out, where it comes from. So that brings up a point to me, like, this guy is an actual person who should be credentialed to review this because he plays the fucking shit. You feel me? Like, he is a streamer, he has a channel, he's a pro. He plays all these things, he knows what the fuck he's talking about because he's immersed in it. And that's how I feel everything should be. If you're going to be a critic of something, you have to be immersed in it and be a part of it for you to be qualified. If you're just a fan of something, what qualifies you to say whether it's good or not? You know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
I'm sorry, but that doesn't hold true anymore. Like, if you're not affiliated with it or have any know-how about it or even understand like how it works, I don't think you're qualified enough to be reviewing it, and it's the same way with like UFC fighting. You know, in the UFC, the judges have never fought or have anything to do with fighting. You know what I'm saying? They're just dudes that are paid through like the Nevada Gaming Commission or whatever. You know, they're just like regular people. They're fucking nobodies, and I don't agree with that either. It's like the same. So like critics of things, you can't really trust anymore. You know, because you know that they're always like pushing whatever agenda. You know, they're fucking toting whatever line. You know, see. So I think the next generation of critics is going to be important. The next generation of ones are going to be like this guy right here. Yeah. You know, people like us also, because we're immersed in it. Yeah. You know, I mean, people like...
You want people that are in that world, because like we were talking about it before, Final Fantasy. Like, I don't play Final Fantasy. You don't play Final Fantasy. They're not my kind of games, but, you know, fucking all kinds of people do. It's a huge thing, and millions of people. Yeah, they still keep making Final Fantasy games. Like the 20th one just came out or whatever. So there's always a niche market for everybody, and if you don't know anything about it, then you can't review it. And it shouldn't just be a huge umbrella thing.
I mean, like you could, like, we do it in a sense, right? Like we do it as fans. Super fans. So like when we're doing reviews of things, we're doing reviews of things that we've already seen 100 times that we're super fans of. Yeah. So, you know, like that's different than the average movie critic or whatever that's gonna watch every movie that comes out, and depending on like, you know, who makes it is how they're gonna review it. Yeah. Especially when Rotten Tomatoes is owned by Universal or whatever, they're gonna favor some movies more than others, you know. And I feel like you can't be affiliated in no sense. You have to be like, you know, separated. You have to have experience, but you have to be fucking independent.
I want to break it down real fast because it is creepy. What it is Rotten Tomatoes is owned by Fandango, which is owned by Universal, which is owned by Comcast. So that's where all these ratings come from. And that's why there's only 70 people. They don't use the same. Young Jamie blew it wide open. He fucking did a bunch of research the other day. Yeah. And we were talking about it, and it all makes sense. You know what I mean? It makes sense that it's like, it's biased reviews to try to get people to go watch their movies. And it's that's like a way of the past, to where you would have critics telling you what's good and what's bad. And you had these, you know, trusted people like Rotten Tomatoes or Siskel and Ebert, whatever you call it, you know. But now it's all about people that are in that world, because there's more people now. There's more people. Right. We can all interact with each other online. So you want to hear from somebody that's in that world instead of somebody that is just a trusted voice that you can't trust because they're being paid to say something.
All right. Okay. Now that brings me to my next point, which is other ratings on YouTube and other places like that. Yeah. Fan ratings and shit, you know. Fan ratings don't fucking mean shit. They don't. You know what I mean? Like, they voted the new Call of Duty to be the worst game ever, and there's no way it's gonna be, because
the Infinite Warfare one?
Yeah. And like, if you know anything about the series, you would know that Infinity Ward is going to be making this game, and Infinity Ward always makes the best Call of Duties. You know, it was only Infinity Ward in the beginning, and then Treyarch became another maker in the brand, and they started making the Black Ops brand, and they created Nazi zombies and all that shit. And then the third one that just came in was Sledgehammer. And they just made the last game, Advanced Warfare, which was really good. So out of the three, Infinity Ward is obviously going to be the best, because they're the fucking original. They're the OGs. They know what the fans want. They're actually connected to, like, you know, what people want and what people need or expect from the next version. Yeah. And they're the ones making this version. And so, like, you know, there's little tales to me that say that this is going to be the best one ever.
Yeah, I think they know like the progression of it too, because they've been in it for so long. They have a better they're in that life, like we're saying. So they have a better estimate on what is going to be the next thing. Just like for old PC gamers, might know Valve. I don't know if you know Valve and Steam. They made all the Half-Life games and fucking a bunch of other shit, like the Portal games and all this new shit that came out, and a bunch of other stuff that I'm forgetting. And they were like a big game developer. And Valve is the company that owns HTC Vive. They created the HTC Vive, which is the new shit in virtual reality. So they're the old school, been in it forever, know what they're doing, know what the cutting edge is. And
Right.
I think it's cool that these old titans that used to be household names in gaming are once again household names in the future of gaming. And all these kids might not know who they are, but they've been around forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and my point with the bad ratings from the fans was that, they heard this one was going to be like in space or whatever, and people start jumping the gun. Old fans that like want Call of Duty to go back to like what it used to be, back to like World War II style gaming. People are throwing like not real opinions out. People are just blurting out fucking whatever. They're not actually saying what they think the gameplay will be like.
Yeah, they're just like
they're just throwing like at the idea of whatever it's gonna be. They're like, oh, this sucks. Why are they doing this? But then when it comes out, you're still gonna buy it.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be the fucking best game ever. You're gonna look like a dummy for talking all that shit. And
let's watch the trailer.
It happens every time.
We got the trailer right here for Infinite Warfare reveal trailer. So
Run it.
Boom.
Native guns are attacking our airship! Pilots hit!
This is a full-blown...
Death count continues to rise, and there's no end in sight.
This is Top Cat Sovereign. Divert and deploy all available assets immediately.
Holy shit!
Let's get to the tower! Go! Go! Take the hell!
Damn.
Yeah.
It looks dope, man.
Watch this shit though.
Let me make
So
our
sick.
situation
Is there some gameplay in here?
We are now at war with the settlement defense front.
You,
Godspeed.
you fly
This
that
is what it's
shit?
gonna look like. You're first person in the fucking plane.
What?
Look at this. You're following these fucking airships straight up out into space.
What?
Dude, this shit is next level shit, bro. This is gonna be fucking Call of Duty on steroids. And it's gonna be fucking awesome.
Damn, dude.
This shit's gonna be intense, dude.
Fuck yeah.
The actual fucking story mode, you know what I'm saying? That shit's gonna be fucking crazy.
So you're just flying a fucking spaceship around.
Well, that's just part of it.
Yeah.
You're flying out to like where your mission's at. Look you gotta fucking get out. You go up inside the ships and you go fucking, you're fighting wars and shit. You go to other planets and you get out on the planets and fucking, like it's gonna be nuts, bro. It's gonna be, it's the next level of like what future soldiers are gonna be like.
Yeah.
In some time, but it's gonna be the same gameplay. It's gonna be like, it's gonna feel real. Every bit of it's gonna feel real. From whatever weapons you're using to the way that you have to reload them and carry them, from the way that you move and crawl or get wherever you go. If you watch in that trailer, you see like how gravity affects you in some parts, and like it's nuts, bro. It's all realistic, and that's what's cool about Call of Duty is it really gives you that feeling of like how it would be.
Yeah.
I think that's why Call of Duty's always been so popular, because it wasn't like other games that would like over embellish and just like have the craziest guns or have like these things were real. Like you snap in the fucking clip and you watch every shell fucking come out, and like it has recoil in the controller and you feel it as it happens, and like it makes you think like you're out on the battlefield. It makes you think ahead of like what's your next move, where you're gonna go after. Like it makes you think of like what you can do with the amount of ammunition you have. Makes you like really playing for shit. It's pretty deep, immersed game for sure. You know, like Call of Duty gets hectic.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be fucking one of the craziest ones. I was never deep into the Call of Duty world. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I play Modern Warfare 3. I have that one.
that one's good.
And I get down on that every once in a while. I'll play online and shit.
Yeah, that one's good.
But
I started at like number 4, Call of Duty 4.
Yeah.
And then every game since.
See, that's another one that's just a huge fucking franchise. And it's crazy how it just used to be, you know, like Nintendo and all this old shit. And then there was a couple different game franchises. You had your, you know, your Sonic games and your Mario games and your Zelda games and all these things that caught on. And now it's just on steroids. Like, who would have known that it would have gotten so huge to where video games is a giant way of life? It's not just a thing that kids play with in their rooms to, you know, pass the time until dinner's ready or whatever. It's fucking like people dedicate their lives to this. Twitch is now a thing to where people watch and pay to watch people play video games.
Yeah, I mean, like...
And you get to see their gameplay and their webcam.
There's an advantage to some of it because, like, if you're a fan and a gamer and you want to watch how a pro plays to elevate your game...
And that used to be a thing back in the day, was you would watch demo videos of some of the top players playing the game, and then you would study them and things that they did.
Yeah, it's like cheating. It's like
places they hid and shit.
Advantage.
Yeah. And I wanted to give this dude a shout out because we were talking about earlier Final Fantasy games and shit, and there was this dude, a Korean independent developer named Yang Bing, and he loved the new Final Fantasy game so much, Final Fantasy 15, I think it was, and he was like a really big fan of the whole franchise, loved that. And then he took the art style of that and like a Ninja Gaiden kind of thing and created his own game in 2 years. It's called Lost Soul Aside, and he did it completely by himself. He didn't have anyone else help him. He had some people that had invested money. He like took some investors, did it all himself, created this game in 2 years, and it looks really good. There's like a few parts where it's like, you know, a rip-off of certain games, and the backgrounds are kind of like copies of things in Final Fantasy, but he wasn't making it, you know, as a developer to put out a game. He was making it like in homage to something that he loved, and it turned out to be a beautiful game. And instead of the regular Final Fantasy, you know, you kind of get to hit people every once in a while, and then you go into like fighting RPG mode where you gotta throw spells and use your healing powers and all this shit. Instead of that, he just did hack and slash where you just fuck shit up the whole time. So it's like a mix of all these different things that people like, and it's being called the most ambitious game ever made. And people should go check out the gameplay trailer. It's fresh. Lost Soul Aside.
Nice. Yeah, I watched it with you earlier, and I thought it was pretty dope.
Yeah, it just goes to show that, you know, if you have the passion and the love for something, you could do anything.
Yep.
And then now people are signing him to develop games. You know what I mean? People are already in contact with him and want him to be like a head developer on certain games and blah, 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 and all this shit. So if one guy can do that, imagine what he could do with a team of people.
Yeah, no doubt. That's what I mean. Yeah,
multiple
he was very
computers.
limited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, man. We don't know where it's going to go at all, but I'm enjoying the ride.
I know. Video games are the shit, bro, honestly. Like, it's a great way to, like, stress relief, and, you know, it's a great way to, like, keep in contact with friends. And, I mean, like, it's just, like, a cool escape from, like, a lot of bullshit. And it's, I don't know, and it's good for you. It's healthy. It's, like, sharpens your mind and your memory and shit. And it's, like, I don't know.
Especially if it's like, you know, a longer game that takes a while to play.
Yeah.
like I just restarted Red Dead Redemption, and I love that game. I loved it the first time through. Played the zombie fucking expansion pack, and I just started it again. And what it's like the feeling of binge watching a good show on Netflix. Like you come home, you're looking forward to it all day. You fucking have like this bowl that's all special for your fucking game.
Yeah.
You get all lit, you fucking play it, and it gives you like, it entertains you and gives you this escape, like you're saying, for, you know, a good however many weeks or months that it takes you to play it. And then you just go on with your life to the next thing. But it's good therapy, I think.
Yeah, I agree, dude. I think it's legit. I think it's gonna keep on growing, and it's crazy how fast it grew. It blew up and took over everything, really. Like now games are like selling out arenas. You know,
Yeah.
People are filling up arenas just to watch people video game, and that's some next level shit. You know, and people ain't fucking filling up arenas to watch movies.
No?
People ain't filling up arenas to do shit, really. You know, except for maybe some like super huge concert or maybe some Kevin Hart show.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart could do it, I think.
And you know what else is getting big is live podcasts, which we're gonna be doing a live podcast in 2018. So everybody get ready for that.
Yeah.
And if it's past 2018 that you listen to this, I'm so sorry. There's probably more coming up.
Yeah.
You never know.
And we'll be right back.
Oh shit! Hold on, I wasn't ready.
Hey, Scotty, what level are you at with these SEGA games?
Safari Hunt. Ghostbusters. Shoplifter. Black Belt. Hang on.
Yeah. So, what level can you get to?
Look for Sega's Ghostbusters Great Volleyball and Shooting Gallery.
All right, we're back. So,
did you find those? They said to look for them.
I did not find them, but I'm sure I did back in my childhood, back when that originally was on TV.
Yeah, Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm. We want to thank Pat and Nat for supplying us with this giant box of old television commercials.
Yeah,
they're like it's like a box of toys, and you open up the mouths on the toys, and they say the commercial of the corresponding toys. So it's weird. It's like some sort of voodoo shit.
If you'd like to see more, go on Instagram and look for After These Messages.
That's right. That is that's a page that you found, right? You were telling me about it?
Yeah, that's that new shit.
That new shit? We gave them a shout out like a week or two ago, and then they added our website to their description, which I thought was nice.
Nice, that's cool.
Yeah, a little double shout out. So whoever you guys are, you mysterious fellas, we like your style in cartoons. Or no, in commercials.
Commercials, yeah.
Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna edit that out. I'm gonna edit all this out. This whole thing. It's all gonna be edited out. So,
games you're looking forward to in the future, like coming soon.
I'm gonna throw out that new Red Dead Redemption that they're talking about. They Rockstar said that they're going to be releasing a game in April of next year to hold people off for the new Grand Theft Auto and keep people entertained. And there's a lot of rumors that it's going to be a new Red Dead. So if it is, I'm going to be excited.
That's pretty dope, actually. I'm sure a lot of people would be stoked on that.
Yeah. So it's like I like shit like that. I like the Left 4 Dead games. Those are dope.
Mm-hmm.
I like a lot of like story and like puzzle kind of.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that they should bring a lot of trivia games. I think like a lot of like, I don't know, some party style games that you could play when you have a bunch of people over at your house. You know,
yeah,
like where multiple people take turns and you just set it to however many, and you like don't even need a controller or whatever. You just talk to it, and it would be legit as fuck.
You remember that game? You remember that game? You Don't Know Jack?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, exactly. And or like Apples to Apples or fucking whatever. You know, it could be any type of trivia game. It could be Trivia Crack. Trivia Crack's a cell phone app or whatever. You know, like that's a fun ass game. And if you can incorporate it into like multiple players and keep some type of score, which it kind of does already, but it just doesn't group do it. You know.
Yeah.
So like I don't know. Some stuff like that I think would be really popular. I would like to see a lot of... honestly, my biggest thing I would love to see would be some type of relationship between Microsoft and Nintendo. Because the Wii and like the way that you play Nintendo games are not as good as Xbox.
Yeah.
And if we could have Mario on Xbox, it would be the fucking top of the line wine. You know what I'm saying? It would be the best of the best. It would be the fucking We the Best, DJ Khaled. It would be the motherfucking everything. You know what I'm saying? It would. And I think so many people would kill to have that. Even even on PlayStation 2, I guess. You know, I don't really fuck with PlayStation, but I mean, I'm sure it would be the same. You know what I mean? And for them to like cross promote games would be amazing, because that would open up so much more money for everybody. You know, it would open up money for Nintendo. It would open up money for Xbox. Everybody would get to play regardless of what system they're on, and motherfuckers could have their favorites in their favorite way of playing, and that's what matters. You know, like my favorite way of playing is going to be Xbox One, and I want to play every fucking game on Xbox One. I don't care who made it. You know, that's bullshit. I don't give a fuck who made it. I just want to play my favorite games in the same place.
Yeah, and that's how it should be. And it's
right?
like, I think, here's my idea for a new Mario game, because it seems to be the thing nowadays to take things that were like classic childhood things and then turn them into an adult R-rated, more mature version. Like Pixar just did the first rated R movie, or the first rated R CGI movie. And Sausage Party was the first like all CGI rated R movie that Pixar did. So,
and I just went and saw it, and I could vouch for it. It's amazing.
Yeah. So all these things are turning adult. You know what I mean? These things that used to just be for children are now being used to entertain adults. So someone should buy the rights to Mario, make it all platform game, but do it first person style, and
the evolution of Mario too.
Yeah, and have it be like a Resident Evil type, like dark landscape. And
what if we could do a first person shooter with Mario?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Of the very first Mario Brothers.
What do you mean?
Flip that into like a new world instead of 2-dimensional. All of a sudden it's 3-dimensional, but it's that exact game.
Yep, and you're going like down these hallways and all this shit, and everything's the same, and you got to jump over lava pits,
over the lavas, and do the fucking things, kill the fucking shells,
and
all that
there's
shit.
things fucking popping up out of the lava pit, and you got to time it, and everything's from first person, and you have
swimming,
and you have a gun.
Yeah, you know.
And you get to shoot like
mushrooms. Well, no, if
and
it's
shit.
Mario, you don't have a gun, but I mean, like, it's still first person, I guess. You know,
I'm
like,
saying,
so you can fucking jump on or whatever.
I'm saying make it rated mature, give him a gun, and let's adult this bitch. Let's make it an adult game.
Yeah.
And make it bloody. You know what I mean? It's like Mario means business, and it shows him all cocking his gun, and he's got blood all over his fucking overalls. And you just see bloody fucking.
Well, he does have enemies
hands
and shit, so I guess that would be cool.
Yeah, I mean, what's the difference between dipping them, knocking them off of a boat into lava, boiling hot magma, liquid hot magma, or a bullet to the face? They're both the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both gonna end up dying.
I think they just didn't have guns back then because they were.
Yeah, if you think about it, he fucking killed a lot of people and creatures.
Yeah, so it's.
But
like
they weren't people, so it's okay, right?
Yeah, so maybe it could even be gorier without the gun and shit. You know, you're just like showing it in a 3-dimension, like
show 'em all
stomping stuff out,
skin
jumping
melting,
on it, smashing it, fucking whatever. Yeah,
that's not a bad idea. We're gonna edit all that out so people don't steal that idea. So after the editing, this episode's only gonna be like 7 minutes long.
20 minutes, maybe. Yeah. Shit.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, videos game week has just begun.
Just begun.
We're gonna be no spoilers, but we're gonna be doing an episode on Thursday and Saturday.
Yeah, it's
and
happening.
They're gonna be video gamey.
They're gonna be, in the words of Bernie Sanders, huge.
Yeah. So I can't wait. Joey can't wait. Can you? I hope so. I hope you wait and come back. So thanks for listening, everybody. We love you. We'll see you on Thursday.
Natural Habitat Recording.